Guys, it is Kelly OG here. I actually have a super exciting video for you guys today. I planned to do it a while ago, but finally get to do it today. I'm actually currently in California, just on like a mini vacation, business stuff. But I'm with my family. We're having a lot of fun. This place is super nice. You're gonna see me post a vlog in a little bit, just documenting the whole place. So, but this place is super nice. I am going to talk about my favorite trading strategies. So for those of you that already know me or don't know me, my name is Kelly OG. Trading in the stock market, it's been an incredible journey. It's been about a year. I think we just crossed 1 year. And I'm just super excited to share some of my favorite strategies that helped me turn $26 into $26,000, which was my first like big propeller into the market. And so I'm going to share some of those strategies with you guys, just fundamentals. This is not technical, so this is how to be profitable without ever looking at a chart. But yeah, so let's get right into it. If you see me looking down, it's because I have my iPad right here with all the info. But the first strategy that I absolutely love to use, this was like a super cheat code, completely fundamentally, no charts, was the earnings rally, or a earnings rally. So what an earnings rally is, it's about a week before a company announces their earnings. That's their quarter results for the year. So if you don't know about earnings and quarter results, every quarter of the year, so every 3 months, the company is going to release, their financial statements, how they performed, where, do they have an increase in sales, do they have a decrease in sales, how is their profit, how is their revenue, all of that. However, earnings is super risky, playing actually earnings. So let's say earnings is on Tuesday and you actually play earnings Tuesday morning or whenever it is. The risk in that is that earnings is an immediate emotional reaction, from different investors. So if a company has super good earnings, you can see the stock shoot up. If a company has super bad earnings, you can see the stock drop down. If you're trading options, it can be very risky, because if you bought a bunch of calls, which means you think the stock is going up, and it shoots down, which would be puts, you would buy puts if you want to make money off the stock going down, well, you would lose pretty much everything, because they can shoot down like crazy. And sometimes they shoot down and recover. Sometimes they have really great numbers so that they make a lot of money that quarter and it still goes down. For example, Tesla in Q4 of 2020, I believe it was, yes, they announced that they had record-breaking revenue, like the most revenue they've ever made in a quarter, and these stocks still dropped, I think, at like $60. And so I know a lot of people were probably like, that makes no sense. If Tesla made a ton of money, why are they going down? You just don't know, and I think, me personally, this is my own personal analysis, the reason I think that it went down was because their revenue was insane, but their profit was so minimal, and I remember at the end of 2020, Elon Musk had said he wanted Tesla to sell a certain number of cars before Christmas or before the year ended or something like that. And I think what happened was all these Tesla sales associates are like, oh my gosh, I have a certain quota I need to meet because the big boss up top said he wants it to be met. So they're selling cars like crazy, probably at discounted rates. And profit margins are probably getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer because they are focused on selling a certain amount. They're not focused on actually making that profit. So it doesn't really sound good if revenue is up and profit is minimal, because, it's like when people say, hey, I made $100,000 in e-commerce, but their profit margin is probably like 20%. So really, they made $100,000, but they left with only $20,000, which is still a lot of money. But just to kind of put that in perspective, that's my own personal analysis. With Netflix, you saw they had announced that they hit 200 million subscribers for the first time. This is the same Q4 of 2020, first time ever in history, and their stock shot up $80. I mean, people turned $10 into like $1,500 overnight. I mean, it was insane. I think some people turned like 100 into like 20,000. It was crazy. People turned a lot of money into a lot of money overnight if you had calls. Now, if you had puts, you lost pretty much everything. I mean, when a stock shoots that high. But it just goes to show you, earnings can be really good. Earnings can be iffy. Earnings can even be really bad, and the stock may do nothing. I mean, I know Apple has had record-breaking numbers every single quarter, and still their stock goes down. It's insane. So that's just what earnings is. Now, the actual earnings rally is whenever, about a week before earnings, the stock starts to rise. It's like anticipation, you know. It's like, okay, we're ready. Think of it like, let's say you're on a roller coaster and you start to boom, 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 boom. You know, you start to go up before you take that drop down, and hopefully it's not a drop down, you know, if you're playing earnings. But think of earnings as that one little point, right? So we're coming up the roller coaster. At that point, this is earnings. Coming up, that's the earnings rally. So a lot of times with the earnings rally, you'll see that a lot of money is made on the move up, which is really good, you know. And I learned that too because I started looking at like how the companies performed the week before, because I used to play a couple days before earnings until I learned the juice is in the week before, because you just start to see this rise, which is a natural rise. So I would just play that time and time again. I believe I turned $200 into, I believe $200 into like 2,000 doing that with Shopify. I did the same thing with Roku, and I believe I turned, I think it was like another $200 into, I think it was a little bit over 1,000, but it was crazy because that's insane account growth. That's in total like $400 to 3,000 within the same week. So that really is insane. That's kind of how an earnings rally works. You know, just play the anticipation. I personally wouldn't recommend actually playing earnings. It can make life-changing money. You could also lose a lot of money. So pick or choose. Next one I have is a sympathy play. I love playing sympathy plays. It's actually how I made my first, you know, like big gain in the stock market, my $26 to 400 that I turned with solo. So what was happening was Biden just got elected for president, and you know, with Biden, you know, he was really big on EV, so electric vehicles, solar companies, you know, just energy efficient items and stuff. And so what you kind of saw was every EV company started shooting. Tesla started shooting, NIO started shooting, Lucid didn't exist at that time, XPEV started shooting, everything just started shooting. Every electric vehicle company. So I started doing some research on electric vehicle companies because I didn't want to get into something that had already risen like crazy. And I found this company called Solo. They were, I think, one-seater, three-wheeled electric vehicles, really ugly. But I wasn't in it for the long term. I just wanted to play the hype. And I noticed that it had not popped off yet. And I was like, okay, well, this contract's only $26. I have $50 to work with. Which in actuality, don't put 50% of your account. Of course, when you have a larger account, this matters a lot more, but don't put 50% of your account into a trade. However, it was $26. I said, you know what? It has to go up maybe a little bit because everyone's getting into every other EV stock. And so what happened, I got into it. It rose a couple dollars, and it was a penny stock. It was around $2-3. It rose to like $7, and I made a lot of money off of that. So yeah, you know, that's really one that's really good. I know it happened again with cannabis. So the House, they wanted to approve cannabis, and they wanted to scratch that. Okay, so the House had to actually vote on if they wanted to pass, I don't want to say a law, but basically kind of be in talks about whether or not they want to legalize marijuana. And so because of this, it caused all cannabis stocks, you know, anticipation, buy the rumor, sell the news. They were just boom, 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 shooting up. I believe I turned, I don't remember how much. I think it was like $100 into 600 or 200 and something with, I think it was ACB, Aurora Cannabis. Yeah, I made a lot of money off of them. I also got into, there was another one. Can't quite remember the name. There was another cannabis company. They were kind of low key. And they ended up merging with another cannabis company, so you can't really find them on the market anymore. But I ended up investing in them, made a lot of money. However, I didn't sell after the news was announced. So obviously the bill was passed, and everything went down because you buy the rumor, sell the news. And I thought I was going to go to Tendy Town. I was like, we're going to the moon. We didn't go to the moon, you know. But yeah, so this can happen with oil, cannabis, EV, tech, real estate. You know, if Zillow's going up, you better go look at Open Door. I think it's Redfin. I don't know if it was Redfin. But you better go look at other real estate stocks. If you see it with tech, you better go look at other tech stocks. Even the companies that, you know, support tech, that is, you know, a really good one. And speaking of that, actually, that goes into strategy number 3, which is investing in stocks that support other stocks. And I say this because I mean, it's just a foolproof way. And you can do this with options trading. You can do this with long-term investing. But think of it like this, right? Tesla needs batteries to run, okay? So if Tesla needs batteries to run, then you have to kind of think, okay, what company is supplying batteries? I actually made a ton of money off of a company that supported Tesla, because Elon Musk had sent out a tweet and he said, hey, we're looking for a company, an energy efficient company, nickel producing company. Okay. Elon Musk had actually sent out a tweet that said, hey, we're looking for an energy efficient nickel producing company or nickel mining company to be able to help, make Teslas function. Because if you don't know, lithium ion batteries need nickel to function. And there's a company called Vale, and I believe they're an Australian company, but correct me if I'm wrong. They are the #1 nickel mining company in the world. So if Elon Musk is saying, I'm going to give big money to a company that can do this, well, now I'm going to the one that's the greatest at their job. And so because of that, I decided to get into Vale. Sorry. I believe it was $12 or $14 into 180, and then turned $40 into, I forgot the number, but I'm going to put it on the screen. It was an over 1,000% return. It was insane. Did it for my sister, did it for me, did it for all my friends. We were banking off Vale. Like, if you ask anyone that started trading with me back in December, they will all tell you, oh my gosh, Vale was our baby. Like, we carried Vale, we loved Vale. But yeah, so you can also do that with iPhones, the chips that are used to produce iPhones, so whether that's investing in AMD or NVIDIA or those companies that produce that, if I'm not incorrect. You also see the same with charging port companies. So yeah, Teslas can run on batteries, but what's going to charge the batteries? So go even further back, you're looking at Blink, you're looking at Plug, charging or car charging companies. And even recently, I believe it was Enterprise or there was a car rental company that purchased 100,000 Teslas. And so you only have to think, if 100,000 Teslas are now being put on the market for car rentals, well, you're going to need a lot more charging stations. So investing in those can go very long term. You can also play it with long-term contracts or even short-term contracts, or just, buy the news, So I believe it was $40 into 400. Yeah, that's what it was. $40 into $435, and then I turned $12 into 180. That was insane. So just letting you guys know that, because that is one of my favorite strategies. And now we can go on to strategy number 4, which is the pullback. Okay, the pullback, this one is for puts. If you're scared of playing puts, don't be afraid to play puts. However, if you are going to play puts, please have a day trade available if your account is under $25,000 and you're using Robinhood. But if you have unlimited day trades because you're using another platform or because you have more than that, puts are actually more profitable than calls. And they can be, because a put dropping or a stock dropping $1 versus a stock running $1, you're looking at two completely different percentages, and that's because puts are more unlikely to happen. And with options trading, it's based off how unlikely something is to happen, probability, it's based on volatility, it's based off a whole lot of things. So if you see a company rise to super high heights, I'm talking all-time highs like crazy, well, guess what? What goes up must come down. And stocks usually go up, but they still come down. Even when a stock is on an uptrend, it goes up, comes back, goes up, comes back, goes up, comes back. Like that little do thing. So you're going to see a lot of that. So what you can do is you can profit off of it falling. And that's the beauty of options trading, is even if a stock goes down, you can still make money. So if the stock shoots down, boom, or shoots up, you can kind of get a put, just kind of wait for it to come up or come down, and it will. This recently actually just happened with Tesla. Tesla went to $1,200, I believe it was, or close to $1,200. And, it went from literally, it was on an uptrend from $700 to $1,200. But in the $1,200, it didn't see a red day for like 3 days. I mean, it shot straight up for like $200, $300 in like 2 days. It has to come down at some point. So people made a lot of money off of puts. I'm talking 3, 4, 500% returns. I had a member do a similar thing with GameStop. GameStop shot up from like $35 to $400, within like 2 days. One of my members bought a put for only $60, and it went like, because GameStop shot down so fast, she actually made $10,000. However, this is another thing to note about puts and why I say have a day trade available, because that stock can flip at any time. Stocks go up more than down. So what happened is GameStop shot down, and so her portfolio shot up. But because GameStop had a lot of volume and it picked up really fast, it reversed and went right back up. She unfortunately didn't have time to secure profits, but that just goes to show what is profitable and what is possible. So it's super easy to profit off of this strategy, but it should not be held long because stocks usually recover, especially when we're in one giant bull run. So that is strategy number 4. And now on to the last strategy number 5, the research strategy. This one, I like to call it patience pays, because a lot of people aren't patient, so they want to profit within the week. And if you want to profit within the week, please make sure that you are subscribed to my trading group. We're the #1 trading group in the world. 1, not the 2. And we post plays every single week. You're going to see at least 100% return minimum within that week. We've been doing it consistently for months and months and months. And you're not going to regret it. So if you want to profit within the week, make sure you are subscribed to my trading group. It is cashcapitalinvest.com. And @InvestWithCash on all social medias. We're not cheap. That's because we're extremely great at what we do. So make sure you do that. Tell a mom, tell a friend, tell your brother, and your dog. Anywho's, back into the research strategy. So this is when you're researching what is upcoming in the world. So whether that's solar companies, EV companies, drones, 3D printing companies, crypto, just researching what is coming up, put a lot of money into them and wait. This can be a super long swing trade. It can also be a short swing trade, or it can be a very long-term investing strategy. So I personally did this, and this is where I made the greatest amount of money. I'm talking in total over $10,000-$15,000 off of just this strategy. What I did, right, is I saw an article at the end of 2020. Bitcoin's around $16,000 at this time. And I saw an article that said Bitcoin is supposed to hit $100,000 by the end of 2021. And I said, hold on, because if that actually happens, that's going to be the most insane thing ever, for Bitcoin to hit that. And Bitcoin's at $16,000. So that's a huge jump. So what I then did was I went to go search up Bitcoin mining companies, companies that mine Bitcoin, that produce Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin shoots up, well, guess what? Their valuation is going to also shoot up. Their revenue is going to shoot up. So I found this company called Riot Blockchain and another one called Marathon Patent Group, which is now called Marathon Digital Holdings. But with Riot, I got a long-term expiration. I'm talking 2022, because I said, I don't know when it's going to hit 100K, but if it's supposed to by the end of 2021, let me be safe and get it 2022. So that's what I did. It was when Riot was, at the time, was around $60. I bought it for $295. By February, so within 2 months, Riot had shot up and went from $6 all the way up to $80. And I was able to make, I believe it was $14,000 or so. And I didn't sell at the time because I wanted it to go to 20K, my greedy self. But it did go down and come back up, and I ended up selling for about $12,000. But even still, because of my other trades, and because of that huge lump sum of Riot's just holding my account, I was able to invest long-term in positions, and I was also able to fund other, short-term positions, and that's what really propelled me to $26,000. I have all the screenshots. It was insane. All my friends were eating off of it. And then every single Bitcoin-related stock just started shooting up, I remember when Mara at the time was at $3. Sorry, my iPad's right here. But Mara was at $3, and I think as of like 2-3 weeks ago, Mara was sitting at $78. So that is such a huge climb. It's an over 1,000% return, 2,000% return, even if you had long-term shares. So that is just one thing to really do. Research stocks that are up and coming, get into them, just sit and wait. Patience pays. I'm telling you, pays very well too if you are right, which most of the time, because stocks usually go up, you will be. But yeah, so that is my 5 favorite trading strategies, fundamentals only, not using any type of technical analysis, that made me a lot of money. And I hope it makes you a lot of money too, for those of you who are still learning technical analysis but still want to profit in different ways. Or maybe you just don't even know how to research how to invest in a stock and I just gave you some free game. Well, I hope you use it to the best of your ability, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on all social media platforms at KellyOG. That's 2 L's. Don't get a scammer. I get so many scammers. Make sure it is the name you're seeing on the screen. Make sure it is me. Make sure you mess with me, join my trading group, and I hope to see you on the other side of the winning team. Have a great day, everybody, and I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my day in California. All right, bye, guys.